Well, our political editor, Andy Bell, is in Westminster. Let's speak to him now. OK, so, Andy, 2023 has a lot of 2022 vibes when it comes to strikes, and it does feel like things are getting worse.
It does, Claudia Liza. Right now, the GMB has just said they're talking about up to 6 days of strikes for ambulance workers. As you mentioned, junior doctors in England are voting at the moment as to whether to go on strike over pay. They say they've lost about 25% of their pay in real terms in the last 15 years. This morning, the chair of the British Medical Association, who speaks for a lot of junior doctors, went in to see the health secretary. And when he came out, I asked the chair of the BMA whether there had been any concrete proposals over pay.
Given that this was a meeting called by the Secretary of State, where ostensibly he wanted to talk about the pay review body for next year, got the very clear message that that wasn't going to be enough, that he has to address the workforce crisis now, and that workforce crisis is being made worse by the drop in pay for junior doctors.
And that's really at the heart of a lot of the disputes inside the NHS. The government's saying they're not prepared to open up the pay settlement that runs until April. Other unions saying that there has to be another reassessment of the pay assessment of the pay settlement that runs right now until April. That has to be cracked open again, if you like, with some extra payment before they'll even start talking about the next pay settlement that runs beyond April.
And Andy, is the Prime Minister going to get involved in these talks?
Well, in the end, it's the Prime Minister who will probably have to give the final word as to whether he's going to find any more money or not. But for now, he's not getting directly involved. In fact, this evening, he's paying his first visit to Scotland as Prime Minister. We're expecting him to have a private dinner later with the First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon. The Prime Minister wants to talk probably about economic development. We understand that on the Scottish side, the First Minister really wants to talk about NHS pay and those plans by the UK government to change the law on strikes to provide minimum service levels. So they may not exactly see eye to eye over dinner.
Andy, thank you. That's Andy Bell, live from Westminster.